Welcome to Round 5 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of January 11th. I'm Catherine Haleko, and I'm here with Terry Morrow.
Hello.
And Nicole Eridix.
Hi there.
Today, we're taking a break from talking and complaining and obsessing, and instead shouting out things other people are doing that we think you'll find as useful or enjoyable as we do. We call this our Roundabout Roundup. And I will talk about something that I'm sure everybody else has heard of, except for me. But my kids have introduced us to Jackbox Games. As I understand it, you need some kind of console, like a PlayStation or a Wii or whatever, to a Wii. Do people even play Wii anymore? A Switch, an Xbox, Grandma. Whatever. Anyway, so these are, you buy a set of games. They're called party packs, I think. And it comes with like 5 or 6 little games that you play as a group, right? So you pull up Jackbox on your Xbox or whatever, and you choose a game, and then everyone who's playing also uses their phone to play, right? So basically your phone is almost like your controller. So the ones we've played were mostly like sort of word games or trivia games. So you'll have the chance to enter a few words or even draw a little picture or whatever on your phone. And then it goes into the system, and then everybody sees some of the results on the screen. Does that make sense? The way I'm describing it. So anyway, so it's fun. We played some of the games as a family, and we just enjoyed that. It's just like a fun little alternative to playing a board game. You know, if you don't mind playing it on a console, it's kind of fun. So cool. Jackbox Games.
That's cool.
Fun.
And Nicole has something much more virtuous to discuss. Tell us.
In a break from my usual form, as I'm not even sure how this happened, but my husband and I bought a NordicTrack bike a couple weeks ago, and it arrived yesterday. And so it's a studio cycle. And let me tell you, this thing is nothing short of amazing in every way, including how much it weighs. It is actually really phenomenal. And I was on it 4 times yesterday. 4 times, people.
What?
Like, not for like an hour at a time, but 4 times I like got on there and cycled, and I did a route.
Ooh.
I know. It's actually pretty, like enticing. And for somebody like me who doesn't like to do a lot of high intensity exercise, it's actually a lot of fun. I just have to very quickly tell you about this feature though. It's so cool. You can go on there because it has, hundreds of different bike routes that you can follow, because it has a big screen, right? And on the screen is a trainer who leads a class, and so you can do all these different classes, but then you can also do bike rides through different environments around the world. So you can, bike ride through Turkey or bike ride through Spain, so it's pretty cool in that sense. But then you can also create your own bike ride. So what I did yesterday was I went to my little town that I grew up in, and I did a route from my house to the recreation center where the pool was. Because I would bike that every day, sometimes like 3 times a day when I was working as a lifeguard at the pool.
How fun.
So I went back on this, and I created this route. And so it gave me street view. And I biked through my neighborhood to the pool. Wow. It was so cool, like when I was a kid, right?
So it just goes on Google Street View and finds...
Yes. Yeah. And then it moves you along. Like, it's not a fluid thing, but it moves you along as you bike, right? So you see the street view of your neighborhood that you would bike through as a kid. So it was
that is
so
both
cool.
Awesome and creepy.
Isn't it? But it's awesome because it's like, I remember, it just kind of
like Google has pictures of everywhere.
Right.
Yep.
Right. And then I went back to the city that I lived in before I moved here, and I biked around the neighborhood there. And then my daughter's excited because she wants to bike around UBC.
Right.
Oh.
She's missing it.
Oh.
So,
well, that's
it's
cute.
just like it's another incentive to get on the bike is what it is.
Awesome.
It's a fun aspect. So it's a NordicTrack.com, NordicTrack.com.
Right.
And hold your breath when you see the price. I'm not going to say it's cheap, but it's definitely motivating.
Well, you already used it 4 times in one day. So
There you go.
There you go.
you're well on your way to paying it off.
Yeah, it's not just going to be a clothes hanger, drying rack.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Very cool. So, Terry, what do you have going on this week?
Well, you described Nicole's as virtuous.
Yes.
Would you not say the same of mine?
I would.
Yeah.
We're halfway through January now, gentle listeners. If you are still casting about for a New Year's resolution that you can, chat about and make other people feel inferior, may I recommend to you the Bible in a Year podcast with Father Mike Schmitz, in which a priest is going to read the Bible all the way through and explicate on it in really rather enjoyable ways. Periodically, when a new section comes up, he'll have somebody in to talk about it, so you can learn a lot about the Bible, and you can say to people, oh yes, I listened to the entire Bible last year when we're at this time next year, and feel very good about yourself. So it's interesting the way he's doing it. It's not just straight through page 1 to the last page. He's using something called the Great Adventure Bible Timeline. And so, for example, the most recent episode I listened to had some from Genesis, some from Job, and some from Proverbs. So we are invited to find out a lot of information about this timeline and get a plan as to what's going to be read and find out why it's done that way. I ain't doing that. I'm just turning on the podcast. I'm listening to the Bible. I'm hearing a little bit about it. I'm feeling pretty good about myself. So if you are in need of a resolution, especially if you are Catholic or, not unwilling to listen to a priest talk about the Bible, it's pretty good. I like it. And you're not that far behind. You could still catch up. They're about 20 minutes each. So, you can go have yourself a little binge of the Bible, catch right up, and join me for the rest of the year.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And that is it for another week of Parenting Roundabout. If you missed any of our earlier episodes this week, look them up on Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts, to hear what we have to say about family members' good deeds, strict moms, and empty nest career changes. You can also find all our episodes at parentingroundabout.com and talk back in the comments there, on our Facebook page, or on Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat. And please visit our Amazon shop at amazon.com/shop/mamitude, where you can find links to a lot of things we talk about, especially if Terry makes a New Year's resolution to keep that updated, which she is busy listening to the Bible. Have a great weekend, and see you back here on Monday.